Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations. Well, it's chucking it down with rain out there, so Jenny's well out of that at the moment. Before I start, a couple of things just to tell you. The decorating's pretty much finished now, thank God. Finally back out here again. About a couple of weeks ago, my mum had a fall. She's 92 and she broke her hip and had to have an emergency hip replacement. And she's, I say, 92. So she's still in hospital. That was a couple of weeks ago. So every evening I've been going over there to see her. And then the other end of the spectrum, my son told us about 3 weeks ago that his girlfriend was pregnant. So we all, apparently he thought it might be about 6 months gone already because she didn't have any symptoms. But he told us just a couple of weeks ago, and turned out she was 8 months pregnant. And a couple of days ago, we're pleased to say that she had a baby girl. So I'm now a granddad. So I've got trouble 92-year-olds, and I'm pleased to say that I'm a granddad. It's a bit of a shock to start with when we found out it wasn't exactly the order we expected things in. But yes, so her name was Rebecca, and lovely little girl. So that's one bit of good news. So anyway, we're back to the Velosolex today. I'm just going to show you one little thing to start with, just the brake, how awkward they are to do. And then I'll go on, we'll try and get some panels back at the rear, and see how we go from there. Right, before I show you what else I've done this week, if you have a quick look at the picture, I'm just going to have a quick look at the brakes. Now that's what you start off with as a brake caliper. It's a pretty good design, but it's a bit more complicated than the normal one. So I thought I might as well just show you. So that is before, dirty, rusty old brake caliper. And once you've given it a bit of a clean and a polish, this is what you end up with. Right, so last time I done this, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I copied it off of the rear brake, which is this one, and so I thought I might as well show you how this gets back together again, if I can. So the cable actually goes through there and then into the little hole there to tighten it. So that first of all has to go into there. Just pull that part of it, and that slides up and down in there. So next thing is we need to, when I done the other one I had to build it up on the bike, but this should be a little bit more easier. So what we do, we'll get these bolts and this one goes in the center. One there, in the center, in that one. So for now we can just hold that together with this nut. I'll do the same for the other side. Right, so that bolts in. Now we've got to get both these things, if I can get it right. I'm going to loosen it off a bit. Now these have to slide in here. One in that side and one down that side, hopefully. Oh God, there we are, I can get it in there. One in, try that first. That one. And then one down there. Oh, I'm in about bloody awkward. You get the idea on that one. Basically they go inside that, one each side. I'll come back to you once I've done that. Right, so they're in there. You can guarantee these are all going to fall out again in a minute. And basically we have to get the same thing done again, but on this sliding bit. So it's a very good sort of system, but it's just, there must be an easier way, but this is the only way I know how. Okay, that one's in that side. Try and keep that there and swing it over. And this one goes in this side, if you're lucky. Okay, let's see, that's in. That one's come out. So was that. This really is a pain. And I say the last time, as I mentioned, I had to do this on the bike. So this is actually easier this way, but right, okay, that's back in. Try and keep them in and get these back in. Slide that across again. That one back in there, and that one. Need a couple of hands for this, or 3 hands rather. Right, see, that's coming out again. Bear with me, let me get all this done, as it's going to bore you to tears, so I'll get this done and we get to the next stage. Right, eventually they're all in there together, so now hopefully we can get a spring in here which should start to hold this together. But let's see. Okay, that's one, and carefully on the other side. Well, this comes out again, which it has. Oh, what a nightmare. So basically I've got to get that back in there, and then we've got one more spring somewhere to go across there, and I'll come back to you. Right, that's, well, as I say, it's just about holding. It's just about to come out again. Oh God, there we go. Right, so it's all a bit twisted at the moment because it's under spring load. Now basically these have to kind of fit in there, but obviously these have got to be apart, and then that will, the block will bolt onto there, that way, I think, or that one. So I think best thing to do, once we get on, get that fitted as it is, and then hopefully that should strengthen it all up enough to change the brake blocks. So we'll come back to that one. It's an absolute nightmare. It just, we get one in, one comes out. It's a bit better now because it's held together with the spring. You can see it's still slightly twisted, but I think that'll all come together once we've got it back on the bike. So let me just show you what I've been up to. Right, first of all, I've got one brake lever on, been polished up, and I've got the cable for that, and I've got 2 wires going down there which have come out this end. So we've got the brake cable down here, and what I'm going to do on the mudguard eventually is have an earth and so basically a PAL and a return, so this could be no problem with the powder coating. I've had trouble like that before. Down here, as I said, I was going to go for the gold theme. I wasn't sure if this idea was going to work, but I think yeah, I think it does. Just a little bit of gold there. I managed to get this sticker on here. The ones I got with Solex on were useless, so I didn't use those. Around here there's the mud guard that was really rusty. It's quite presentable, so I'm quite happy with that. And over here we've got all the rack now painted, all the stays, and also the back of the brake caliper once we get that on. So the next bit today, it's not very nice out there, still raining. I'm going to try and work in the shed as best as possible, and we try and get the some of this frame back together again. Right, please forgive me for not having much room in here today. I would have taken the mobilette out, but it's raining. I did take it out for a nice little run yesterday. I'll show you a little picture. My sister-in-law and her husband, Joe, they just bought a restaurant in Shepperton, a Thai restaurant, and I always think it looks very French to me. So I parked it outside yesterday, and Joe took a couple of pictures. So I just put that up in the corner there. I think it looks quite nice. It looks like a French restaurant, even though it isn't. But anyway, back to this. This is the main bar that comes down from up here. This is what supports. This is the wheel for the wheel to go into. So that actually fits in through here. So we can hopefully get that one out. I think that's a 13. I think might be wrong. Yeah, 13. So we get this bar out here. Okay. And that will go in there. Okay. Tighten up in a minute. That's that one. And then we've got an upright. This one. And also I've got, I was tempted to buy a couple of new ones of these. They're a bit bent here and there, but they come up okay. So what I'm going to do, I've still got to put that one on afterwards, which is the stay for the mud guard. But I've still got a few things to do with the mud guard with these wires. So if we can just make the frame up first, I can get the mud guard in hopefully afterwards. So let's just see how this goes on this side for now. Right, as I say, I've still got this to go on afterwards, because I'm just going to temporarily put this in for now, and then we can put the other one on later. So let's just get that one loosely tightened up there. There's a washer somewhere, if you can bear with me. I'll get that in a minute. Just put this on temporary. So I'll just bolt this one up. Right, I'll just loosely put on the other side as well for now, and this should hopefully get the rack on. This has come up quite nicely, the rack, and part of my gold theme. I'm going to go 2 over the top, but I've just done the little toolbox gold. Still got to clean the tools up, but it's just well, set it off a little bit. So to get this on, we have to kind of slide it on the inside of this. So hopefully we can do that. I think that will go. This one's a bit, let's bend that out a bit. See if we can do this without scratching everything. Usually happens. I think I need to open that up a little bit with a screwdriver, so bear with me a second. Right, managed to get that over there now. That's hooked on, and we can bring this one up, and that should go inside there. And I've got some new bolts as well, nothing bolts. If we can get that lined up. I think that's, yeah, that should do it. Okay, that's that one. I'll just do the other side. Right, I'm not going to bore you with this one. I've got the brake, the bolts that hold the brakes on, brake calipers here, and what have I got now? I've got a pile of bits. So I'm not going to bore you with all that again. I'm going to actually build it up on there, which I did on the front, which was actually difficult because I'd had a lot of bits put on first. So let me rebuild these brakes onto here, and I'll come back to you. Well, one absolute nightmare of a system this is. That's just on temporary at the moment. I think I need to tighten up a little bit more. So as you can see here, these brake blocks are actually clamped in that little bit there. I think they will need to be a little bit of adjustment later, but that's how it all works. And then we have to get the cable in to join up with this to adjust those. Can't do that for the moment, we have to wait for the wheel, but okay, so that will do for the moment. Right, what I've done now, I've just put a temporary bolt in there just to hold the, not fixed or anything, the mudguard up. It's also got to have another couple of bolts where the brakes caliper is as well. But all I wanted to do was just get this lined up because I wasn't quite sure how to do this. This is obviously the tower light with the number plate bracket on it. So I wasn't sure what to do. We've got two holes there, which what I think I will do, I'm going to drill a hole in the centre there, which will go through that centre hole there, which will bolt on. And then with these other two holes, I'll try and get another couple of bolts in there, which make that much more steadier. And then I need to cut this sheath off. I can't remember which way round these goes, but one of these is the earth, probably the black one. And then it doesn't really matter what you use, brake light or tail light, and I'll connect it up to the main light. I still need to get a 6-volt bulb for this if I can. But so what I'll do, I'll cut this sheath back and I can measure up, bang in the centre there, get a bolt through that hole there, which will temporarily fix it. And then we can just get a couple of smaller bolts each side, which should steady it in the middle there. So that's the plan. So I need to try and feed the wire through. Well, before the camera stopped, I do need to feed the wire through here. There is a little mini tube in the fold of the mudguard, and it just comes out roughly where these lights are. I have tried to get the other wire down the same hole, doesn't fit. The only other thing I can do, I'm thinking of pushing the other wire down the other side and just cutting a little nick out so I can pull that wire through. So at least I'll get an earth straight back to the source up the front there. So I'll drill a hole, probably have to take all this off, drill a hole in the centre there, and then two little holes each side. We'll see how we go from there. Okay, so we're finally stopped raining now. Sun's just about to come out, so I have measured all this up. So we've now got this bracket on with the light, so I just need to source a 6-volt bulb for that, and then hopefully once DLVA come up with the goods, we've got the number plate to go on. I've just left it on just for aesthetics, shall we say, at the moment. I will be taking this off, routing these wires around the mudguard and down there, and then I'm going to connect the brake cable up, and then once that's done I can get on and get the wheel on at the back. So it's coming on, we're almost there really. I have had to do I've got to do some sort of an adjustment here. Again, I think I mentioned before I had a problem there. I put the throttle thing on there, but the bar, I think I said before, it was stuck. When you take the carburetor off, the butterfly thing does move nicely. Once you put all this back on with the decompression, it's stuck, so I have to look at that. But not too much of a problem at the moment. Still got the other end of the wires here to be linked up to the lighting system. As I say, also in the meantime, whilst I've been doing this, I've been waiting for this to come from France. The Velo sticker used to have on there, and I've got a couple of Solex stickers to go down there, but they're white, which I wanted gold, but unfortunately they're white. So that's it, it's coming on. Just a wheel after this to do, get the wiring done, brake cables done, and we can concentrate on the front. And well, not too far away, I've still got the saddle. Well, as I say, that's it for the day. The sun's starting to come out now, and Jenny Girl's come out again, so she wasn't there to start with. I've got my brother-in-law. He's doing a little bit of camera work for me. He actually is a director and a producer from Thailand, so we've got a professional doing the camera work. So I hope you did enjoy this little update with the Velosolex, and we'll see you next time. You take care. Bye for now.